This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last session, we have discussed about the Visual Force programming, and we have discussed what exactly the Visual Force, what is the use, and why should we go for the Visual Force programming, especially what are the various scenarios which enforce you to go to the Visual Force programming instead of customizing through the mouse pointers. And upon designing your own customized user interfaces by using Visual Force, what kind of rules, principles, standards, and guidelines we need to follow, we have discussed as part of Visual Force. And we have discussed how a Visual Force page will get compiled and it will get executes internally. The execution life cycle also we have discussed. And how Salesforce is going to be constructing a page upon creating an object by including the various parts of the page and which part has been prepared by using which tag and what is the functionality of the tags and what is the hierarchy. We have discussed about the Visual Force page tag hierarchy also. The various tags we have discussed. Like as part of that page tags, we have discussed about the page tag and the section header, form tag, page block buttons, command button, command link, page block section item, and the input text and input label, output text. That means the various input controls and output controls also we have discussed. And the tags hierarchy we have discussed. Okay, fine up to this one? No. So now we'll see the ways to create the Visual Force page first, and then we'll see the tag properties. Ways to design the Visual Force page. How many ways are available to design a Visual Force page? Now let's see. So that already we have discussed during our Apex programming also, during the object creation, during the field creation, everywhere we have discussed the multiple ways. Upon creating an object, we have two ways are available. Upon creating the fields, we have multiple ways are also available. Upon creating an Apex class, we have multiple ways. Like the similar way, whenever we are going to be preparing your own Visual Force pages, upon designing a Visual Force page, we have multiple ways. Okay, we have multiple ways are available. Like we have 4 ways are available as part of Visual Force page designing. Upon designing a new Visual Force page to be used to represent some data or to be used to prepare the customized user interfaces according to your business requirement, upon designing that page, we are having 4 ways are available. So what are those 4 ways? Now let's see practically. Okay, now. So upon designing the Visual Force page, the first way is, as usual, you know that concept here. By using standard navigation. Second one, by using developer console. Third one, by using URL format. And the fourth one, by using Eclipse IDE or Visual Studio code editor. It is also called as a VS Code. So upon designing a new Visual Force page, we are having these 4 ways. First one, by using that standard navigation, we can design the Visual Force page. Second one, by using the developer console. Third one, by using URL format. Fourth one, by using Eclipse IDE or Visual Studio Code Editor. These are the 4 ways are available in order to design the Visual Force pages. Then how to design a Visual Force page by using each and every way, we'll see one by one. How to write some code, how to execute, how to see the results, we'll see. And what is the difference between all these ways, we'll see one by one. Okay. Now, in most of the cases, in the real-time implementation, we prefer to go with that URL format in 99% of the cases. In some cases, we can go with the developer console. These two are the most important ways upon designing the Visual Force pages. Okay. Because we are having few flexibilities are available as part of URL format and then developer console. Okay. Now, so let's see the first navigation here. By using the standard navigation, we can design the Visual Force page. How can we design? Now let's see. In this case, go to the setup menu. Go to the build menu in the left panel. Click on develop Visual Force pages and click on new button. By using this navigation, we can design your own Visual Force page. Okay, we can design our own Visual Force page by using that navigation. We need to go to the develop. Previously, we have used Apex class, but now we are using Visual Force page. In order to design the Visual Force pages, we have to use the option called as Visual Force pages and then click on new button in order to design a new Visual Force page. Okay, now let me explain. So let's go to that navigation. Click on the build menu, develop. We are having an option called as Visual Force pages. Click on Visual Force pages. We don't have any Visual Force pages as of now inside my organization. Now click on new button to create a new Visual Force page. So now it is providing a small editor to you. In this editor, we need to write that code to be used to design your own Visual Force page. Specify the label for that Visual Force page, nothing but with which name you want to create a Visual Force page. Every Visual Force page should be get identified by using the page name. So specify the name of that page, with which name you want to create here. I'm indicating that page, my sample or my first VF page. Okay. So I'm giving that label as my first VF page, and then my Visual Force page name is my first VF page. I'm giving some description, my first VF page itself. So now here I've given that name for my page with the name my first VF page. And then when it comes down, it is indicating Visual Force markup. That means markup means what? Designing part code, right? So in this case, whenever you are going for Visual Force page, every Visual Force page contains two parts: designing part code and then backend business logic part code will be available. That is also called as controller part code. Okay. So now in this case, I'm designing the Visual Force page now. So in order to design the page, okay, we are going to be using this editor. So this is the editor which has been given by Salesforce, which is purely like as a normal notepad editor, which won't provide any intelligence to you. There is no intelligence concept when coming to the editor. Just you have to remember each and every tag name, their properties, their syntaxes, their hierarchy, everything we have to remember over here. Then only we can design the Visual Force page. Suppose if you are not sure about the syntax and the properties and the attributes and the hierarchy, then we can't go with this navigation process. Okay, because it is not the suitable way. Okay, if you're not sure about that syntaxes and their attributes, properties, values, hierarchy, everything. If you know that complete hierarchy and the tag names, syntaxes, properties, everything, then you can go with that the standard navigation mechanism. So this is the normal editor which has been given by Salesforce, which will be giving the default tag is available, root tag, that is page tag is available to you. And having the default tag that I already told you, page tag is a root tag which has been given by Visualforce programming, where every Visualforce page should be starts with that page tag here. Okay, this page tag is going to be reserving the complete browser space on which we can design something, on which we can represent something, depends upon your business requirement. Okay, so that page tag will be the root tag always. Now, you know that how to increase the font of this particular content. Now the font is looking like as very small. I want to increase the font. What we can do? Now you will be having that capital A symbol so that we can able to increase the font of this particular editor also. So inside this one, it is giving some default information like as congratulations, this is your new page. It is giving some default information. I don't want this default information. I will write my own information inside this. So remove the default content which is displaying by the Salesforce. Now I want to print my own content here. I'm indicating like as welcome to Visualforce programming. This is my first Visualforce page. This is my first Visualforce page. So now whatever the information you want to represent on the page, you can able to specify that information. I want to display some static content like welcome to Visualforce programming. This is my first Visualforce page. So this is the static content I want to represent on my Visualforce page. Okay, now. So now write that content whatever you want to display. Once the content has been done, then click on save button. Okay, click on save button. Once you click on save, your Visualforce page will be getting created successfully. It will be saving into the metadata repository. Before saving this particular Visualforce page code inside that metadata repository, first of all, this code will be getting compiled by the Visualforce page compiler, which will verify the syntax. If the syntax is correct, then only the page will be saving successfully. Okay, inside a file with the extension, okay, my first VF page.vfp. Okay, now this is my file name. This is the page name here. So now, after that, once the page has been getting prepared, then it is saving that page into that metadata repository. I want to run this page. I want to see the result. How can we do that here? How can we run this page? No need to type the page name in the URL. So simply we can go to that preview button. Okay, there is a button called as preview button, which is used to run the page. That means I want to see the view. I want to see that execution result of this page. So that click on preview button. Once you click on the preview button, the page will be getting run. It will be displaying the result to you here. So whatever the result, whatever the message that you have printed, that message will be getting visible to you on that Visualforce page. It is indicating welcome to Visualforce programming. This is my first Visualforce page. Okay. So whatever the message that you have entered inside that between the page tag, that information will be getting visible to you inside your page. Okay. Clear? Now, for example, here, I want to display these two sentences in two different lines. Then what we can do? Now this sentence I want to display in a separate line. What we can do? Break line. Can I use the break tag? Yes, because that already we have discussed. When coming to the Visualforce, Visualforce is a web development framework which allows you to use all the standard web technologies code. So that I would like to use that break tag. So click on edit button to modify that code. Here after writing this first sentence, I would like to give you a break tag. I'm giving a break tag. I'm giving one more break tag also. Okay. I'm giving the two break tags over here. Okay. Now, so now this content I want to show in the bold format. Can I show this content in the bold format? Yes. How? We have to use bold tag. This is the starting of the bold, and this is the ending of that bold tag here. Okay. So now we can specify. That means not only using that Visualforce page tags, we can use that the standard web technologies tags also inside your Visualforce page designing. That's what here we are calling it as. It's not a programming, basically it's a web development framework. Okay. Now, so now let's click on save button. Let's go to that page, refresh this user interface. We can able to see the result. The first line will be getting visible to you in the bold format, and the second sentence will be getting visible to you by giving a line break over here. Okay, clear? So this is how we can able to design the page by using that standard navigation. Suppose if you want to make some more changes over here, then what we can do? We have to go back to the code editor, click on editor button, and then make the required changes over here, save the changes back, go to the page again, refresh this user interface. Keep on, we need to switch from one editor to another editor, or one window to another window. Keep on, we need to edit over here. Keep on, we need to switch, we need to jump from the result window to that editor window to result window. Keep on, we need to switch. This is one of the major problem when coming to that standard navigation, and that too, when coming to that standard navigation, whatever the editor has been given by Salesforce, this editor won't provide any interesting feature to you. It won't provide any auto save, auto compile options to you. These two facilities are not available as part of this the standard navigation, because it is purely looking like as a normal notepad editor. So upon typing that information, if you did not save anything inside that editor, suddenly the system has been shut down, then whatever the content you have written, the content will be lost. We can't get back those content again. There is no such possibilities. So because it won't have any auto compile, it won't have any auto save option by default. We need to save the content manually inside this. Okay, this is the first major problem that we have as part of this standard navigation. Second problem, okay, second problem is keep on, we need to switch from one editor to another editor in order to see the result. Suppose to see the result, we have to go to a different tab, we can see the result. Suppose if we need some more changes, we need to go back to the previous tab, make the required changes, save it back, and then go to the result page again, refresh this user interface. Keep on, we need to switch from one tab to another tab, or one window to another window in order to write the code, in order to see the results. Okay, these are the two major problems are available when coming to that standard navigation. Okay, clear? Understood the concept here? Next, the second way. The second way is developer console. By using this developer console also, we can design our own Visualforce pages, where developer console is going to be avoiding some of the drawbacks, not all, some of the drawbacks it will avoid. Okay, now, so what kind of drawbacks? It is going to be providing the intelligence feature to you, and along with that, it is providing auto compile option. Whenever I'm typing the content, okay, for each and every few fraction of seconds, the code will be sending to the force.com platform in order to compile that Visualforce page code, whatever I have written. If there is any syntactical mistakes, if there is any parsing errors are available, if there is any wrong attributes or wrong inputs are available, it will be clearly indicating to you, these are the various tags, these are the various properties where exactly did the mistake. So that on the spot, we can see those errors and we can able to rectify those errors also with the help of the developer console. So that when coming to the developer console is a bit flexibility, okay, upon designing the Visualforce pages. Okay, now how can we go with the developer console in order to design the Visualforce page? What is the navigation? Go to the developer console, okay, right? I'm going to the developer console. Next, after that, file menu, new, Visualforce page. Okay, click on Visualforce page and then specify the Visualforce page name. So whenever you are designing the Visualforce pages, we can't create two Visualforce pages with the same name. Okay, every Visualforce page can be identified by using a unique identification, that is name. Name is a unique identification when coming to the Visualforce pages, so that we can't create two pages with the same name. Because whenever you are calling the page with a specific name, which page it has to call, either this one or this one, will be an ambiguity. For that one, Salesforce won't allow you to create two pages with the same name. Always Visualforce page name should be unique always. Okay, now I'm creating one more Visualforce page here, my second VF page. Okay, so now in this case, by default, it is providing that page tag to you. Okay, the default tag is available, that is page tag. Inside that page tag, we can able to write the content, whatever you want to make it visible on the user interface. So now, for example, I want to display some content here. Welcome to Visual Force Programming. This is my second Visual Force page. Designed by using developer console. So now I would like to represent some content inside this. Inside the Visual Force page, I want to represent some content like as welcome to Visual Force Programming. This is my second Visual Force page designed by using developer console. So now we can able to specify the information whatever you want. And then upon typing this information, for example, I'm removing this content over here. I'm removing the braces. Okay. The starting tag is not ended properly here. For each and every few fraction of seconds, your code will be sending to the force.com platform, and which is going to be indicating if there is any compilation errors are available. So there is a mistake is available over here, which is indicating there is one problem is available. So let's go to the problems tab. We can able to see that here. So now is required and must be outermost tag in the markup at line 1 and the column 1. That means here whatever the tag is available, the tag has to be get ended properly. So now here we have to specify the tag here. Now, so let me save that content. For example, I'm removing this tag. I haven't specified this information. I'm not closing the tag properly. I'm not closing the tag properly. Now it is indicating XML document structure must start and end with the same entity. That already told you Visual Force is purely supporting XML style of syntax where every tag should be a dependent tag. Every starting tag should have the corresponding ending tag. So now here we have specified the starting tag, but the ending tag is not ended properly. So please, we have to specify that. We need to make those tags to be get ended properly with the same syntax. Must specify that the semicolon, specify the greater than symbol, and then both the tags have been ended properly here. Now there is no syntactical mistakes right now. That means we are having some auto save option is available. Along with that, you will be having that IntelliSense feature also. When you specify the space bar inside this page tag, whatever the properties are available, every property we can able to see that. These are the various properties are available as part of this page tag. Inside the page tag, we are having the properties: action property, API version property, apply body tag, apply HTML tag, cache tag, content type, controller, default last command util ready, document type, expires, and the extensions, ID, label, language, lightning style sheets, manifest, name. So many properties are available. These are the various properties are available as part of your page tag. Okay, but all the properties are not required. So few properties are very, very important, which we are using upon designing the page. We'll see that each and every property and their syntaxes, their functionality, everything with some practical examples also today. Okay, so but when you go to that standard navigation, this kind of IntelliSense feature will not be available to you. That is one of the major drawback that we have as part of the standard navigation. That's what here in most of the cases we prefer to go with that the developer console. Okay, clear? Now, so now once you are done with that code, then save this code, which will be saving with the extension .vfp, Visual Force page. Now save this 5-page code. Now it has been saved successfully. There is no syntactical mistakes here. Okay. Now, how can we run this page now? Preview. Where is the preview button? Here you will be having the preview button is available in the top left corner. There is a preview button is available here. Click on this preview button to see that page. To see the result, we are using that preview button. Now we can see the result also. Welcome to Visual Force Programming. This is my second Visual Force page designed by using developer console. We can able to see this result here. Okay. Now, suppose for example, I want to show this content in the bold format. Then what we can do? Then what we can do? Write that entire content in between the bold tags. Then where we can write that? We have to go back to the developer console, specify the bold tag here. by bold. Okay. So now I'm writing this entire content in the bold tag, between the bold tag over here, so that I can see this content in the bold format. Save this content. I want to see the result. Go back to the user interface and we can refresh this one. We can able to see the result also. Suppose I want to display the second sentence in the second line. For that one, we can specify the break tag. I'm giving the break tags. Save this content again. Come back, we can see that result over here. That means what? Whenever if you want to modify any content, then at that time we have to go back to the developer console, make the required changes, add the code, save it back, come back to that user interface, refresh this one. That means what? Here also keep on we are switching from developer console to the result page, result to the developer console page. Keep on we are switching whenever if we need to add some more additional content or if you want to see the latest results. So here also we are going to be keep on navigating from one page to another page. This is one of the drawback when coming to the developer console. Okay, clear? Now, understood this one? How can we write the code by using that developer console? Okay, these are the two ways as of now we have discussed. Now we'll see the third mechanism by using URL format. It's a most important way upon designing the Visual Force pages. By using that URL format also we can design the Visual Force pages. URL format means what? When you go to your Salesforce instance, you will be having the address bar. In this address bar, you are having the URL. By using this URL also, we can able to design your own Visual Force pages also. How to design the Visual Force page by using this URL? Now let's see practically. So how to design the Visual Force page by using this URL format? Now let's see practically in this case. Whenever if you want to design the Visual Force page by using this URL format, okay, then how can we design the page over here? We have to go to your URL. In this URL, you are having the protocol is available, that is HTTPS, okay, and then we are having your instance number, server number is available, and .salesforce.com, okay. So up to this is common, okay, up to this is common. After that, we need to specify our page names here. How can we design that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now make a note over here. We can design the Visual Force page by using the URL format as below. The syntax is we have to specify the protocol, HTTPS, and your instance number .salesforce.com / give the word Apex, okay, because I'm going to be designing the Visual Force pages. So give the word Apex / your page name. Okay, with your page name. That means what page? Nothing but with what name you want to create the Visual Force page. Specify the page name over here. For example, I want to create the Visual Force page. For that, I'm indicating ap16.salesforce.com / apex show all records page. I'm giving the page name as show all records page. Or else I would like to indicate ap16.salesforce.com / apex / I would like to indicate create new account page. Okay, create new account page. Like that, we can give any name whatever you want. So with which name you want to create the Visual First page, we can specify the page name. So now I want to create the Visual First page with this particular name. So that specify go to that address bar inside your Salesforce instance, specify the URL. Okay, up to that base URL is common, and then give a slash, give the word Apex because I'm going to be designing a Visual First page, and then that is nothing but an Apex page. So now specify the page name. This is the name through which I would like to create the Visual First page. Done? No, extension is not required. Salesforce will prepare automatically. So now I would like to design the page by using this particular URL format. Let me try how to do that. What will happen? Let's see practically. I'm going to create a Visual First page. Go to the URL. I'm having the URL up to that base URL common ap16.salesforce.com slash, give the word Apex, and then give the page name. I want to create a page name with the name like as my third VF page. Okay, so my third VF page. I'm creating the Visual First page with this name. Press enter. So now once you click on that press enter, what happened? Now it is indicating simply a message, page my third VF page does not exist. That means it is trying to be loading that page. Whenever I'm trying to be creating the page, but the Salesforce is trying to be loading the page here. It is searching that page with the name my third VF page inside the metadata repository, but it is unable to find that page with this name. But what is my intention? I'm trying to create the page. I'm not loading the page here. I know there is no page with this name. I am creating the page right now. But here we don't have any option to create that page over here. In this case, whenever we are going to be creating the page by using that with the URL format, we need a special permission. Okay, we need a special permission to be get enabled. By using that special permission, we can create the Visual First page right now. Okay, now what is that special permission? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, make a note. Upon creating the VF page by using URL format, we need a special permission development mode. That means we need to enable the development mode checkbox here. We need to enable the development mode checkbox as below. How to enable the development mode checkbox? Let me explain practically here. Go to your name on the top right corner and expand it. Click on my settings link. Go to the personal and expand it. And click on advanced user details link. Select the checkbox development mode and then click on save button. In order to create the Visualforce page by using that URL format, we need a permission that is called as development mode checkbox has to be enabled first. It's a first principle. Done with the navigation. Okay, now. So let's see how can we enable this development mode checkbox. Now let's see practically, and then let's see how to create the page. So let me go to that, my settings. Go to the personal and expand it. Click on advanced user details link. Okay, go to the advanced user details link. Here you will be having a checkbox called as development mode checkbox. Okay, development mode checkbox is available, which we need to enable. By default, this development mode checkbox is in disabled state. We need to enable it over here. Okay, now click on this edit button. Select the checkbox, development mode checkbox. Okay, select the development mode checkbox. Now click on save. Okay, so we have enabled the development mode checkbox now. Let's go to the Visualforce page URL. I want to create the page right now. Press enter. Let's see what will happen now. What happened in this case now? So now here it is showing the message Visualforce error page. My third page VF page does not exist. Previously, we are able to see only this particular message itself. Okay, previously we are able to see only this message, but now along with the message, it is giving one link also to me. Okay, it is giving one link also to me. Because here my intention is what I want to create the page, but Salesforce is trying to be loading the page. But with this name, we don't have any page inside my organization. It is showing that message page. My third VF page does not exist. Now it is indicating a message. You want me to create the page or not? Okay. You want me to create the page? If yes, then click on that link here. Now, if yes, click on that link. Now I want to create the page. Click on that link here. Now your Visualforce page has been getting created with the name My Third VF Page. Now tell me, have you identified any difference in this browser? Have you identified any different thing or any additional feature in the browser? Okay. Okay. Now, remaining people, what you observed newly in this one? Okay. Okay.
Here, browser means output and coding.
Okay. Now, so in this case, whenever I'm going to be using that URL format upon designing the Visualforce page, okay, once you click on that, the link to create a new Visualforce page, automatically Visualforce page will be getting designed by the Salesforce by default for you. Okay, and by default it is displaying some information. Congratulations, this is your new Visualforce page. That is the page name is My Third VF Page. So where is this code? Where is this code? I want to add some more content inside my page, where we can add. In this case, when you come down to the browser, at the bottom of the browser, you will be getting one tab bar. There is a tab bar is available here. So this is the tab bar at the bottom of the browser here. Now here you will be having the two options. You can have that expand and collapsible option. You will be having the turn off option is also available over here. Okay, turn off option. So in this case, suppose once you click on this turn off option, that means because the disable automatically, once you click on this one, now this tab bar will be gone. When you go to that, the settings option, advanced user details option, this debug nothing but development mode checkbox will be getting disabled automatically by default. If you want to get that tab again, then we have to enable the development mode checkbox here. Okay, now. So now it is providing the turn off menu, and along with that, it is providing the expand and collapsible option. Click on this one. Now that tab bar has been getting expanded. On this tab bar, we are having a tab is available, my third VF page. That means whatever the name that you have given for your page, with that name, it is creating a tab for you. In this tab, we can able to see that content here, whatever has been given by Salesforce. If you want to add some more content, then you can able to modify remove the existing content. We can able to add your content, whatever you want. That means what? Whenever I'm using that URL format, okay, in order to design my Visualforce page, whatever the browser space is available, browser space has been dividing into two parts here. The top part is nothing but the result part, and the bottom part is nothing but your editor part. That means we can write the code inside that same window itself. In the same window, we can write the code, we can compile the code, we can save the code, we can run the code, we can see the result also. Everything we can able to perform inside a single window. But previously, when you go with that standard navigation of the developer console, keep on I'm switching from one tab to another tab, one environment to another environment. But here, it is providing the real-time development style to you. Real-time means what? On the spot, immediately. Okay, so immediately after writing the code, click on save button, immediately we can see the result here itself. No need to switch to the multiple environments, no need to keep and jump from one tab to another tab in order to write the code, in order to see that result. Everything we can able to see inside a single window itself. The possibilities available with the help of the URL format. That's what here in most of the cases we prefer to go with that URL format upon designing the Visualforce pages. But to see the code inside the URL format, we need to enable an option. What is that option we need to enable to go to the URL format? Development mode. Okay, development mode checkbox has to be enabled. Okay, clear? Now, suppose by mistake if we click on this turn off, then what we can do? We have to enable the development mode checkbox again. We have to go back to that personal option, go to the advanced user details section, and then enable the development mode checkbox. Okay, clear? Now, so here I'm writing this code here. Here also, if you want to increase the font, you will be having that option is available to increase the font here. Once the code has been getting written, if you want to save this code, that means if you want to execute, then you can click on save button, or else you can use your own shortcut. What is that shortcut? Control S, same. We can use the Control S also. Okay, so now here I'm indicating this one. I want to show some message like as welcome to Visualforce programming. Okay, welcome to Visualforce programming. I'm indicating the break tag. This is my third Visualforce page designed by using URL format. Okay, this is the third Visualforce page designed by using URL format. So once the code has been getting written, then you can click on save button. Here you will be having the save button is available. Click on the save button to save this code. When you click on the save button, what will happen? Code will be sending to the force.com platform. It will send the code to the page compiler. It will compile your code, save the code into the metadata repository, and then it will be sending that indication to the page renderer. Just now I have designed the page, have compiled the code, saved the code into the metadata repository. This is the page code. So please collect that code and then get it execute. Then page renderer will collect that page code, execute it, generate the result. Result will get visible to you on the page here. Okay, all the operations will perform in one shot. The complete cycling process will be done at one shot. So now we can use that, click on Control S, or you can use that the save button also, whatever you want. Click on save. Now the page has been compiled, executed, and we can see the result inside this browser itself here. Okay. Intelligence feature is also available here. Go to the intelligence feature here. Here also intelligence features are available to you. Every tag, their properties, everything we can able to see. Okay. Intelligence features are available, but here we don't have any auto save option. Okay, we have to save it manually. Okay, clear? Now, in this case, now tell me from these three ways, which one is the preferred one? Which you will prefer to go with that? URL format, because so this is the very easiest way, so that we can able to write the code, we can see the result in one place itself. Okay, clear? Syntax errors also here itself. Here we can see that syntactical errors also. Let me show you. For example, here I'm not closing this one. Once you click on save, we can see the syntactical mistakes also here itself. Okay. If there is any compilation errors are available, we can able to see that compilation errors here itself. It is indicating clearly. I'm closing this tag, save this one. You can now the code has been compiled successfully, and we can see the results also. Okay. Clear? Now. So now next one here. After that, whenever we are going to be using that Visualforce page tags, okay, upon using this Visualforce page tags, suppose for example, if you don't know some of the tags, if you don't know what properties are available, then we can use an option called as component reference. There is an option called as component reference. These tags are also called as components. Okay, these are also called as components. That's what I told you. Each and every Visualforce page contains two components to you. Okay, every Visualforce page contains two components: Visualforce markup, Visualforce controller. So now, as part of markup, we are having page tag, form tag, so many tags are available. These each and every tags are called as components. That means component means for which is having some visual appearance. Okay, which is having some visual appearance. Now, so in this case, if you want to know what tags are available, just you can click on component reference. Now we can see the online help of all the tags here. Salesforce has given online help to you. These are the various tags has been given by Salesforce by default here. These are the tags are available here. Each and every tag and their syntaxes, everything we can able to see. Suppose I want to see the page tag over here. So now if you want to see that page tag, then you can go with that page tag here. Now just to click on the page tag here. Now here we can able to see that information. So now it is indicating a single Visualforce page. That means it is reserving a complete Visualforce page here. All pages must be wrapped inside, okay, a single page component tag. That means this is the root tag for all the Visualforce pages here. Every page, every code star, every component has to be get the wrapped inside the page tag. So they are giving some information also over here. Okay, they're giving that information also about the page. They're giving some description. Along with that, they're giving properties. When you come to the table here, they're giving the two tabs are available: component details tab, usage tab. Well, by default, component details tab is visible to you, so which is indicating these are the various properties are available. Action property. So what is this action property? So it is indicating the description also. And then API version property, it is giving the description. Now apply body tag property, which is of type boolean, which is giving some description. Every property and the description we can able to see here. All the properties and the descriptions we can able to see. Along with that, if you want to see some sample example, just click on usage tab. Here we can able to see one sample example also, how to use these properties of the page tag. Here everything we can able to see this information. Okay, the whole information is available complete. The online help is available to you inside that component reference. Okay, clear? No. Understood the concept here, how to design this Visualforce page? No. So now by using this URL format also, we can able to design our own Visualforce pages here. Suppose if you want to remove, now my page is starting from this place. Okay, my page is starting from this place over here. Now on the top you are having the complete header part is available. You know, this entire part is called as what? Up to this part, up to the tab bars and the tabs part, up to this part, header part. I don't want this header information. If you want to remove this header, because I want to start designing a page from the starting of the browser itself, so at that time simply we can specify header property, show header. Okay, show header equals to false. I don't want to show the header here, just to save this one. Automatically header part has been gone, and then your page will be getting visible from the starting of the browser itself. Suppose if you want to display the header part, then simply we can specify show header equals to true. We can able to see the header part information. Depends upon your requirement, we can able to enable what component needs to be get visible, what component has to be get hide. We can able to indicate that information also by using the various properties. Okay, clear? Understood the concept now? So these are the various ways to design the Visualforce pages here. Okay. Now, so now let's come to that. The tag properties. Each and every tag and their properties we'll see one by one. So each tag inside the Visualforce pages will be referred as a component. Okay, every tag will be referred as a component because each tag is going to be providing some visual appearance on the user interface. It may be a button also, it may be a page block also, it may be a page also, it may be a page block section also. It is providing some visual appearance on the page. That's what these are called as components. We are combining all these components together to prepare a user interface or to prepare the customized user interface functionality. So now in this case, whenever if you want to design a Visualforce page, we have to use a combination of a collection of components or a collection of tags. So that already we have discussed the various tags and then which tag is representing which part of the Visualforce page we have discussed. Now let's see in detail of each and every tag. Now we are digging into the concept here. Now we'll see what exactly each tag represents and what are the properties are available, how to use each and every property, what is the description of each property. We'll see one by one with a practical example also inside this. Okay. Now, the first tag is page tag. Page tag. So what is this page tag basically? Page tag represents what? Okay, to reserve a new page. Okay. Then any other functionalities of this page tag? Every Visualforce page should be starts with what? Page tag. It's a root tag inside that Visualforce page. Every Visualforce page should be starts with that page tag itself. Okay. Now make a note over here. By using this tag, we can design a Visualforce page. By using this tag, we can design a Visualforce page, which is used to represent the required content to the end users. Which is used to represent the required content to the end users. Each Visualforce page should be starts with the page tag. That is, it is a root tag for each Visualforce page. That is, it is a root tag for each Visualforce page. It is a root tag for each Visualforce page. So now as part of this page tag, we are having some set of properties are available. Okay. As part of this page tag, we are having some set of properties. Now let's see what properties are available for this particular page tag. First tag is setup tag, setup property, which is a Boolean. First property is setup property. So what is this setup property basically? Do you know the word setup? Refresh, no? You know setup options? Then same, nothing else. Generally, when you click on that setup option, in the left panel, it is showing that setup menu to you, like as administer menu, build menu, deploy menu, monitor menu. So now whenever you are designing that Visualforce page, okay, on my Visualforce page also, in the left side, I want the setup options. Okay. So now when I click on that setup menu, I want to display the setup options over here on my Visualforce page. Generally, setup menu will not be visible to you on the Visualforce page, but I want that setup menus in the left side on my Visualforce page. At that time, we have to use a property called as setup property. Setup property I'm going to be indicating like as a Boolean value. That means, do you want to display the setup options on the left side of the Visualforce page or not? If you want, make it as true. If you don't want, make it as false. That's it. Now, in this case, setup property is used to display the setup options on the left side of the Visualforce page. Okay. In order to represent the setup menu on the left side of the Visualforce page, we are using that setup menu. For example, now assume that this is my Visualforce page. In the left side, I want the setup option. So that specify that property. Setup equals to true. Let's save this one. On this Visualforce page of the left side, you will be having the setup menu will be getting visible to you. Administer menu, and then build menu, deploy menu, monitor menu. Left side, you will be having that setup menu is available. And then after that, you will be having your Visualforce page content is visible to you over here. Suppose if you don't want this setup menu, if you want to start your content from the starting of the browser, okay, then we can able to indicate setup equals to false. So now your browser, the complete space is occupying by your browser still. Okay. In order to show that setup options on the Visualforce page are not, we are using a property called as setup property. Okay. Clear? Now, next. The second property, sidebar property. You know, what do you mean by sidebar? What is a sidebar? Only recycle bin. Recently performed actions, quick actions, recycle bin, all this information we can able to see in one place with the help of a component called as sidebar. Sidebar is nothing but a component which represents all the recently performed actions and the quick actions and the recycle bin option at one place at the left side. So in this case, sometimes you can raise a question, sir, on my Visualforce page of the left side, I want the sidebar. So at that time, we can able to specify that option over here. At that time, we are using the property called as sidebar property. Okay, sidebar. I want to show the sidebar component. Click on true. Now, at the left panel, you will be having the sidebar is available here. Okay, because sidebar we have made it as collapsible, so that it is in the collapsible status here. We can see the recently performed actions and the quick actions are also available. Recycle bin option is also available to you. Suppose if you don't want to show that sidebar at the left side, okay, if you don't want to show the sidebar at the left side, simply we can able to specify the option called as false. Okay, there is no option of sidebar over here. Sidebar will not be visible to you on your Visualforce page. Okay, now in this case, sometimes you can raise a question, sir, I want that sidebar and the setup both. Both will not be visible to you, only one will be visible. Okay. Both sidebar and setup options, both we can't display on the page at a time. Okay, only one we can display, either sidebar or setup option. Okay, clear? No. Understood the concept here? What is the use of sidebar property? No, that will be the fixed one, because as per the W3 standards, okay, World Wide Web Consortium standards, always that option should be in the left side only, not at the right side. We can take any application also. Okay, whatever we have, banking, finance, okay, any application, okay, options are always available at the left side, not at the right side. Okay. Because these are the W3 standards we have to follow upon designing any of that web application. Clear? Next. Third property. Third property is show header. Show header equals to Boolean, either true or false. So what do you mean by show header? You know, we have discussed today. Whenever you are designing the Visual Force page, you want to display that header part or not. Header part means what? Okay, from the starting of the Salesforce information to till the tab bar. Okay, till the tab bar. That part is called as the header part. On my Visual Force page, you want that header part or not. If you want the header part, specify that show header property equals to true, or else you can make this value as false. Okay, clear? Now, next one, the fourth one. Show charter. Whenever if you are displaying some records information, okay, upon displaying some records information on that record detail page, if you want to show the charter information, that means charter feed. At that time, we can indicate that show charter equals to Boolean parameter, nothing but true or false. Depends upon your requirement. If you want to display the charter feed on your record detail page, specify the show charter equals to true, or else make it as false. Next, the fifth property. The fifth property is tab style. Tab style equals to a subject name. Now let's see what exactly the tab style. So now tell me, I have designed a Visual Force page. So what is my page name? My third VF page. This is my Visual Force page. For my page, what object tab style has been applied? You get the tab style. Generally, when you go to my any of the object, every object is having its own tab style, the background color, some images available here. When you go to the accounts, it is having a different background color and images available. When you go to the customers, it is having a different color and the images available. When you go to the company details, it is having a different color and an image is available here. Like the similar way, whenever I'm designing the Visual Force page, what tab style has been applied? By default, home page tab style has been applied over here. Okay, by default, home page tab style has been applied over here. Home tab style has been applied. But I don't want to apply the home tab style. I want to apply a company details tab style. Okay, I want to apply company details tab style. How can we apply? For this one, I'm using a property here. I'm using a property called as tab style. Tab style equals to company details underscore underscore C. Specify the object name. What is this object name? My object name is company info. Let's see. Now, in this case, the company details tab style has been getting applied here. Suppose if you want to apply the solution object tab style, solution object is not visible on the tab bar, even though we can apply over here. I want to apply the solution object tab style. So that automatically that color will be getting applicable, that image will be getting applicable. And then I want to apply the order object tab style. Specify the order. Order object tab style will be getting applied. I want to apply the position object tab style. Specify the object name. Position object tab style I want to apply. So depends upon your requirement, what object tab style you want to apply, we can able to specify that information over here. Okay. So depends upon the requirement, what object tab style you want to apply for your Visualforce page. That tab style, that object name, we can able to specify inside that tab style property here. Okay, clear? Now make a note. This property is used to specify the name of the Salesforce object whose style to be get applicable, whose style to be get applied for the Visualforce page. For example, I want to specify Apex page tab style equals to some solution. By Apex page. I want to apply the position object tab style. That is the fifth property. Done. Next property, render as. Render as equals to PDF. Done. Now let's see the render as here. Rendering in the sense what? Render in the sense display. Okay, render in the sense display. That's what here we are using that page renderer. Page renderer means what? Which is a runtime engine which will be executing your Visualforce page. Whatever the result it will be available, it will collect the result, will be visible to you. Nothing but display to you. It will be sending to you so that we can see the result inside the browser. So now that's what we are calling it as page renderer. Page renderer means what? Which will be executing the page, which will be display the page to you. So in this case, render as. Render means what? Display. As, nothing but display as. That means as of now, whatever my Visualforce page is available, Visualforce page content is getting visible like as a HTML document. It's like as visible inside my browser. We can able to see that content. But I don't want to display this content inside the browser. I want to display as a PDF file. Whatever the content that I have written inside my Visualforce page, this content I want to show inside my PDF file. For that one, simply we can specify a property. Specify the property render as equals to PDF. Once you click on save, whatever the Visualforce page content is available, that content will be getting visible to you in the PDF file format automatically here. So now whatever the options are available for the PDF file, all the options are available to you. We can able to rotate that content or the page in the clockwise direction also. That facility will be available to you. We can able to rotate that content also here. The content has been getting rotated in the clockwise direction. Okay, and then we can able to display this information also. And then whatever the options are available for your PDF documents, like other downloading option, and then sending to the printer option, zoom in, zoom out, all these options will be getting available to you as it is. Sometime before, whenever we are developing the application by using some other programming languages, to prepare the PDF files, we are using some third-party libraries. Like we are using Active PDF. Active PDF is a third-party library which is used to prepare some PDF files, to prepare some PDF content, to mix the multiple PDF, to edit the PDF contents. We are using active PDF libraries. Through programming, we are using those libraries, we are using that software APIs in order to prepare some PDF files. But now in Salesforce, that entire thing has been getting eliminated. If you want to prepare a PDF file, simply we can able to make that property render as equals to PDF. That's it, done. So now in this case here, once your information has been getting collected, if you want to display like as a report, which can be downloadable in the form of a PDF file, just you can able to make that Visual Force page as render as equals to PDF. So now in this case, that entire content will be getting visible to you like as a PDF. The user can able to download that content into his local system here. Okay, that facility is available to you. So no need to write that huge lines of content. Simply we can able to specify a property render as equals to PDF, which will be representing the Visual Force page content in the PDF file format. Suppose I don't want this one, I want to display like as a normal. So simply we can remove that property, save this one. Now you will be able to see like as a browser itself here inside the browser. Okay, clear? Now make a note over here. This property will represent the Visual Force page content in the form of a PDF file. In the form of a PDF file. I'm placing that content also. Clear? Next, rendered. Rendered property. Render as rendered. Rendered means what? Simply in one word, I can say this property is like as inside your other programming languages, we are having like as visible property. Visible equals to true means it will display. Visible equals to false means it will be invisible. That means hide. That means to display the page or not, we are using that rendered property. Rendered equals to true means display. Okay, rendered means display or not. If you want to represent the component of the page or not, we are using that rendered property. If it is true, it will display the page. If it is false, page cannot be displayed to you here. Okay. This property is used to decide the Visual Force page should get visible or not. Rendered equals to true. It will visible the page. Rendered equals to false. Invisible. Page cannot be visible here. It's the seventh property. Okay, next. Content type property. content type property. So what is this content type property? Content means what? Whatever the information you are displaying inside the Visualforce page. Okay. Whatever the information that I'm representing inside the Visualforce page, that is called as content. Whatever the content you are displaying, okay, whatever the content you are displaying inside the page, I want to display the content not in the browser. I want to show in a different format, like as inside a Word document. Okay, I want to show. In this case, we are using a property called as content type property. Content type property is used to display the Visualforce page content inside a Word document by giving a specific name. So now in this case, whenever I'm using this content type property, I'm indicating please display the content inside the Word document. To invoke this Microsoft Word application, I'm using that internet media format called as application/MS Word. Now I would like to invoke this Microsoft Word document and then Word application. And then through this Word application, I want to create a Microsoft Word file with the name. You can specify the file name .doc. Whatever the name that you are given, with this name, a new file will be getting prepared. In that file, your entire Visualforce page content will be writing inside the file. Once the content has been writing into the file will be downloading into the local system automatically. Okay. Whatever the content that we have inside your Visualforce page, that content it will collect. It will be writing that content into the file. In which file? So this is the file here. So now this file is not available. I am giving the name over here. Whenever I'm giving the name, automatically with this name, first of all, a empty Word document will be getting prepared. In that empty Word document, will be writing that content of a Visualforce page. That Word document will be downloading into the local system automatically here. Okay. For that reason, whenever if you want to represent the Visualforce page content inside a Word document by downloading into a local system, then we have to use a property called as content type property. Okay. Now, let me show you practically in this case here. Now, I'm removing this render as opposed to PDF. So whatever the content that we have inside my Visualforce page, I want to write this content into my Word document and I want to download into my local system. So that I'm using that content type property. Content type application/MS Word # specify the file name. I'm giving the file name as some ramu.doc. Okay. I want to create a file with the name some ramu. Okay. So now ramu.doc. So with this name, please create a file. And then in that file, please write this entire Visualforce page content inside the Word document and download this ramu.doc file into my local system. Now click on save. Once you click on save the button, automatically the file has been getting prepared here, ramu.doc. In that file, it has written that content are downloading into my local system here. Once you click on that file, we can able to see that content. The Microsoft Word document will be getting open for you. We can see this Visualforce page content inside that. So whatever the content that have written inside that, that content will be storing inside that file with the name ramu.doc here. Like the similar way, we can give any name whatever you want. Depends upon your requirement. We can give any file name for this particular file. Okay, clear? No. Now make a note over here. This property is used to write the VF page content into a specific Word document, and we can download the file into the local system automatically. Properties are very, very important. Generally, nobody will discuss each and every property. Just they will take up one example. They will go with that. They will use all the tags. They won't give the tag hierarchies information also. But if you know the hierarchy, then it will be very easy to design the page. Next property. Next property is ID. Generally, whenever we are having some records inside our object, for every record, Salesforce is allocating one unique identification number that is called as ID. That ID will be generating by Salesforce. But here, when coming to the Visual Force page, for every tag, we will be having a common property called as ID property, which is used to identify the proper component uniquely. But that ID that is nothing but a reference name which we can give. That reference name will not be allocating by Salesforce. We can give the reference name. In this case, in order to identify that page uniquely, we are using this ID property by giving a reference name here. Okay. ID property is a common property for every tag, whatever we have. Okay. This is used to provide a reference name to be used to identify the component uniquely on the page. ID equals to show records. ID equals to PG, okay, show records. PG means Visual Force page. For the page, I'm indicating like as some PG for our reference. If it is a page block, we are using some PG block. Like that, some starting references. We can give anything, whatever you want, ABC, XYZ, anything you can give, no problem. Next property, read only. So what do you mean by read only property here? What is the use of this read only property? We can't make any changes, okay, right? In what situations we can go with this read only property? It's a common question. In most of the interviews, it's a common question. Why should we make that page as read only? No. Not? Not to read the data, okay. Okay. Yeah. The basic purpose of this read-only property is, for example, assume that I'm having an object. Okay, I have an object here. In my object, I'm having 500 records. Okay, I'm having 500 records. I want to display these 500 records onto my Visual Force page. Okay, I want to display those 500 records onto my Visual Force page. Generally, what we can do? Yes, okay, welcome. First of all, we have to query that records, and then we can display those records onto your Visual Force page. Now the query will return how many records? Query returns how many records? Maximum of 50,000 records here. Okay, 50,000 records. Okay, now let me explain on the board so that you can understand more.
This conference will now be recorded.
This property is used to represent more number of records on the Visual Force page, up to 10,000 records at a time. Up to 10,000 records at a time. I'm indicating the node point. by default, Visual Force page can show maximum of 1000 records on the page at a time. Read-only property will prevent the user all the DML operations on the Visual Force page. It will prevent to perform the DML operations on that Visual Force page. Sometimes we can raise a question, sir, if the number of records are more than 10,000, what we can do? If it is up to 10,000, then I can go with that read-only property equals to true. But if it is more than 10,000 records are available, then what we can do? At that time, we can go with that pagination. Through pagination, we can able to split the records to the various small pieces. Okay. Apex page, read-only equals to true. Next. Next property. Action property. So do you know the syntax? Flower braces, exclamation, closing flower braces. Do you know this kind of syntax anywhere? SYSL. This syntax. Somewhere. Somewhere we have used this kind of syntax. Flower braces, exclamation. Not email programming, email templates. Email templates. We have used this concept in the email templates as part of merge fields concept. You know the concept of merge fields inside your email templates. There we have used this syntax. Okay, flower braces, exclamation, which is using dynamic assignment. Okay, dynamically at runtime, that particular record content will be placing in that email template before sending the notification to the people. Okay, now here we are using that action in the Visual Force. Whenever if you want to refer any variable, if you want to access any object, any collection, any method, everything we are following the same syntax like as a merge field syntax. Okay, now so here I am going to specifying the method name. What do you mean by this method name here? What is the use of this property? Now action property. So what do you mean by action property? For example, come to a general scenario. Assume that I'm having a mobile. Okay, I'm having a mobile. Whenever I'm rebooting a mobile, nothing but switch on the mobile. Initially, it is going to be preparing some default settings. Okay, default message alert, default ringtone, and the default wallpaper, default screensavers, default apps. Everything will be available by default here. Whenever that mobile is getting loaded, it will be setting the default settings automatically. Okay, now like the similar way here. Okay, like the similar way. Now whenever my page is getting loaded, okay, whenever my page is getting loaded, if you want to invoke some actions, if you want to perform some actions, at that time we are going to be using a property called as action property. Now, simply in one word, I can say, if anybody is aware of Java, .NET, though in that particular programming, the people are using like a page load event. Okay, page load. That means whenever the page is getting loaded, if you want to do some actions, if you want to perform some actions, then we are using the page load event. Exactly similar way, here we are using that action property. Action property is what? Whenever my page is getting loaded, what action you want me to do? What operation you want me to do? What functionality you want me to execute? What method you want me to execute? So we can specify that method name here. Whenever I'm specifying the method name, whenever the page is getting loaded, automatically that method will be getting executed. In that method, whatever the business logic is available, that will be getting performed automatically. That may be DML operations, it may be SQL query, whatever, anything. All the operations will be getting performed over there. Okay. So whenever the page is getting loaded, if you want to perform some actions, then we have to use a property called as action property. Okay. Clear? Understood the concept? Nobody is responding. Now, people are still in the festival mood. Huh? Now, let's see. For example, here, assume that I'm using that lead object. So whenever once you click on this leads tab, what will happen? User interface has been getting loaded over here. Okay, but in this case, it is populating some set of options by default. But these options are storing somewhere in the database, but it is collecting those information. It is populating automatically over here inside this. Like the similar way, whenever the page is getting loaded, if you want to perform some actions, then we have to use a property called as action property. Wherever you found action property in the enter Visualforce page, wherever you found action property, specify the method name. Simple, a plain thumb rule. Okay, action means what operation you want me to perform. To perform the operation, we need to write some statements, right? Where we are writing the statements inside the method. So what is that method you want me to call? So we have to specify that method name. Okay, so now upon loading the page, whatever the method that was specified, that method will be getting executed, the business logic will be getting executed for you by default here. Okay, clear? Now make a note about it. This property is used to invoke the specified method name, specified method to perform the operations upon loading the Visualforce page. Upon loading the Visualforce page. For example, I'm indicating the case. Public void get all accounts. I'm writing some SQL query here. List of account. I'm writing some SQL query. ID, name from account. If you want to call this method, then you can specify. Apex page action equals to get all accounts. You can invoke that because we no need to make it as a static. Because here, if I'm using it as a normal, then we need to create the object. Whenever we are going to be calling the Visualforce page, automatically it will create the object of the respective class by default. That object creation will be taken care by Visualforce page itself. Okay. As part of this page tag, we are having 3 more properties. Standard controller. Controller. Extensions. So these 3 properties are available here. These 3 properties we are going to be discussing as part of controllers concept here. Okay, what is the use of standard controller, controller, extensions? We'll see these properties concept during the controllers concept here. These are the various properties are available as part of your page tag. Only page tag we are done as of now. Okay. So here we are having more properties are available, but for the remaining tags we are having very less properties, 4 to 5 properties max. Upon specifying the method, no need to specify the open braces, close braces, nothing. Simply method name. That's it. It will invoking automatically. Okay. So these are the properties of page tag. In tomorrow's session, we'll see the remaining tags and their properties. Okay. Once the tag properties are over, then we'll see how to design the page and then how to perform DML operations without coding. Without coding how to perform the DML operations, I will show you practically by using standard controller concept. Then I will show you what are the limitations are available, how to go with that custom controllers, and then I will show you how to use both standard and custom controllers for using extensions. We'll see these concepts over here. Okay.